right now. A state of emergency has been declared in Florida, in Georgia, North and South Carolina. Governor Nikki Haley has stated that they will likely have to evacuate 1.1 million people. The cone of uncertainty now stretches from Florida all the way to Maine, and the death toll from this Category 4 hurricane now stands at 8. So, in the past few days, we were talking about the forecast models, Michael Lowry, and we were talking about the possibility of this affecting the U.S. coast. With that more westward track now becoming much more confident, it does look like we are going to see problems Florida, southeast coast, potentially even north of that.
Yeah, through this week. So there are a lot of people that are in the potential path here of this very dangerous hurricane. Matthew, the latest information, this just in from the Hurricane Center, 8 o'clock Eastern time. No changes here, Alex. Basically just inching closer to Cuba, about 15 miles, they're saying, southwest of the eastern tip of Cuba. So nearing that landfall, as you said, probably sometime within the hour or two. Winds of 140 miles per hour, Category 4 hurricane, and the pressures, this has been moved over some very tall mountain peaks there in parts of Haiti earlier today, 6,000, 7,000 foot peaks. And it was like a speed bump to this thing. It barely affected it. I mean, it slowed it down a little bit, but not very much. It still is remaining a powerful hurricane. And the most concerning, the most disconcerting thing about this storm is how slowly this is moving. North at 9 miles per hour, that is a slow forward motion, and that means it has ample opportunity to continue, as it does so in Haiti and the Dominican Republic right now, to continue to dump that tremendous rainfall. People talk about, well, we'll see what happens in Haiti. It's not over with in Haiti. It continues to rain in Haiti. It continues to flood in Haiti, and we're going to see the impacts here continuing across eastern Cuba and then into the Bahamas tomorrow, where this has the potential of bringing a 10 to 15 foot storm surge.
Yeah, we think about the rain and you think about the wind, but for the Bahamas, perhaps the most devastating aspect of this could be that storm surge, where you're talking about an average height above the ground or above sea level for much of these islands, 10 feet, and then you go and forecast a 10 to 15 foot storm surge.
Right, that's an average. So, if you're in a below average spot, that means you could see water higher than 5 feet, and again, up to 15 feet if you're right there near the water's edge. The fact that this is moving so slowly, too, is going to worsen the storm surge threat in the Bahamas. I haven't mentioned that tonight, but that's also an important part to the story. As Alex also mentioned, the track has been sliding back to the west, and the cone is more over Florida than it's ever been, and that's why we have parts of Florida under a hurricane watch right now, and that extends also down into parts of the interior. Lake Okeechobee, you're under a hurricane watch, and storm surge, Alex, I haven't gotten to this part either, but storm surge is not, in the case of Florida, only a coastal thing. If you have a big enough body of water inland like Lake Okeechobee, we could see some storm surge issues there on Lake Okeechobee, depending on how close this gets. And then thereafter, moving into very storm surge prone areas, northeast Florida, southeast Georgia, South Carolina, then through the Outer Banks, and then perhaps into the mid-Atlantic. Yeah, a lot of people being impacted by this.
And all the way through the weekend, so we still have a ways to go. A lot of eyes need to be on the forecast as we head through the next several days. Want to